Well, happy Tuesday, everyone, and I'm glad to see the sun has returned for at least 5 to 10 minutes today. Are we excited? Yes, we are. Now listen, this could be today's first look video. If there's a part 2, I'll do a part 2. But we've got news already about tonight's episode, so let's go through it. But before we do that, let's just have a few gross pictures of Harrison and Lauren being lovey-dovey now that they're out of the villa. Watch them as they traipse around trendy London holding hands and kissing each other's foreheads. Absolutely fantastic. And of course, a bit of a giggle now. Who did this? Come on. Look, I liked Meg being bald. Now we have Meg and Dijon being bald. This is great work. If we could have more of these. Listen, don't just do them for Meg and Dijon, whoever does these. Do them for other islanders too. Let's see everyone bald. I think it gives us all a great reason to chuckle, and the chuckle gets us through our days. I love this one. I think this is this is one of my favourites. So it might actually be my favourite of the bald photos thus far. Now, let's move on to tonight's episode. As you know, we have Tiny Temper coming in to perform at the Love Island Festival. It's just Tiny Temper. Don't call it a festival. It's not like there's going to be, 10 bands on and food trucks and portaloos and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, he's going to be performing. Then after he performs, apparently, we're going to have not 1, not 2, but 3 islanders dumped, guys. 3. That's what the papers are reporting. Now, let's just have a look at who we think it might be. Now, these are not spoilers. This is my opinion, all right? So what I tell you, because some people think sometimes I'm giving spoilers when I say this. I'm not. I haven't watched tonight's episode. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. These are purely based on a bit of research, and we can get a rough idea of who might go tonight, and it could be completely wrong, so please don't get upset. Now, there was a small poll done through Reddit, the Love Island Reddit forum, to see who the favourite boys and girls were. Now, bear in mind, we had to vote for our favourite boys and girls, and I imagine what will happen tonight is the ones with the lowest votes will go home, as well as an additional islander who we also know is a girl. Let's have a look at this poll, though, and you can see what you think about it and who you think might go and how reliable it is. It's about 24 hours old, so, some of the islanders may have got a bit more popular in the last 24 hours, because you know what time is like in the villa? 24 hours is like 3 years. 2 weeks is 1,000,000 years. Here we go. So here we have favourite girls, and leading the way is Shakira. No surprise there, I think. A lot of people really like her, and I completely understand why. Followed by Yasmin, who really has done well, I think, in the last few weeks, because when she came in, she was a bit like Marmite, wasn't she? She was kind of, you either like her or you don't. But she's developed into this rather fun, character who I think a lot of people have connected with. Can't Vote came 3rd, which is a bit weird. Don't quite get that. Tony in 4th, okay. Helena in 5th. So Helena's doing quite well. Meg basically tying with Helena, okay. So that's pretty good for Meg. Billy Kiss, just under Meg, okay. Not too bad for Billy Kiss. Emma below Billy Kiss, and Angel below Emma. So if you take this result as an indication of tonight's results, then clearly Angel would be dumped. Having said that, some of these people may have fallen down the chart a bit. Billy Kiss hasn't had a lot of screen time. However, last night she did with Cash, she kissed with Cash, so that might actually have pushed her up. Meg went on a date with Dijon and is now exclusive with Dijon. That could have either pushed her up or down, depending on how the public are connecting or not connecting with Meg. Helena, I think, will probably stay solid, because I think some people feel sorry for Helena, even though I feel like she's kind of her own worst enemy. I mean, last night in the episode, Harry practically said to her, that he liked to muck around with girls and stuff, and she didn't seem to say, well, bye, or I'm walking. She kind of smirked. He even asked Angel if she was wearing underwear, for God's sake. I thought, why is he asking her that question? What kind of person does that? I think that's just a creep alarm right there, but Helena's a different breed, so maybe people will think, well, fair play to her, she's sticking by Harry, or maybe they'll think, I feel a bit sorry for her for sticking by him, and that might keep her high up in the voting chart. But judging by this chart, it would be Angel who left, and I wouldn't be at all surprised. She's made an impact, but she hasn't made like the kind of impact that would keep her in the show. Let's move on to favourite boys as per this poll and see who's leading the way. Now, interestingly enough, it's Cash who's leading the way. Cash, I mean, he hasn't been in the show for many days, and he's leading, guys, by I think 199 votes he got here. And then Jamie's behind with 73 votes. I mean, Jamie's quite far behind. Both new guys, but they've behaved themselves well. They haven't been rude to the girls. They haven't been trashy. They've been, you know, well-behaved, respectful, polite. And for that, they are both leading the chart here at number 1. Number 2, Can't Vote is under Jamie. Then we have Connor below Jamie. I mean, yep, Connor is perhaps, you know, not particularly problematic in one sense, but he's certainly problematic in another sense, his lack of commitment. But yeah, he doesn't come across as a nasty or abrasive person. Then we have Harry. You see, isn't it amazing? Despite Harry's behaviour, he's still above all those other guys. Despite the fact that Harry is, you know, openly admitting that the way he treats women is not great, and then openly flirting with the likes of Angel when he's in a relationship with Helena. Doesn't seem to affect him that much. He's still up there. Ty below Harry, which again is strange. Ty is so unproblematic. You know, he just seems like a nice guy. Nice guy Ty. And yet there he is below Harry. But then he has been in the programme for less time. And Harry's been there since day one. Dijon is below Ty. Now, I think again, Dijon divides people. I think a lot of the girls in the villa, I say a lot of the girls, some of the girls in the villa don't really seem to like Dijon. And they didn't like the fact that he asked Meg to be his girlfriend last night, purely because they don't think it's genuine. But, you know, time will tell, I suppose. But, you know, I have my suspicions as well. But, you know, don't want to say too much, because I don't want to be absolutely railed in the comments. Because if I say something negative about someone, that can sometimes happen. But I'm not surprised Dijon is that far down. Again, I think it's not. I think it's just because the public aren't really connecting with him, or Meg. But I think they prefer Meg to Dijon for some reason. I don't find either of them particularly likeable, but there I've said that before. And then below Dijon, Boris. Yes, no surprise there. So I think it's likely Boris could go with Angel tonight. Now also we have one more girl leaving, don't we? And I think it's probably going to be Emma. Because the newspaper said it's someone who's made a real impact, someone who's, you know, really caused drama in the villa. And I can't think of anyone else it could be apart from Emma, because the other girls that have caused drama and stuff would be OGs and people who I just don't think are going to go because the public like them. So I think it's going to be Emma. I think when Emma first came in, it was interesting. I think the way she told off Harry was great. But then the telling off kind of got a bit too boring and also got a bit too much like a mum being there with her son and saying, what have you been doing? You shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, while I appreciate a lot of it towards Harry was justified, she then did it to, you know, who did she do? She did it to Boris, started telling him off. She basically started telling all the boys off. And I think that was not needed, and it was just a bit wearing after a while. So I think it'll probably be Emma. She always, you know, doesn't actually seem that happy. And maybe the reason is because she really wants Harry back. And she's had her moments where it looked like she was going to get close to getting him back, and then it's all fallen apart. So I think it's probably Emma who's going. So my money is on Angel, Boris and Emma leaving tonight. And that will conclude tonight's episode. So do you think I'm right? Do you agree? Do you care? Of course you do. You wouldn't be watching this if you didn't care. Who do you think is going to be dumped tonight, guys? Leave your comments below. Put any questions below and we will answer them. Okay? And like I say, if there's more information, I'll do another video later. But if not, this is your lot. And you'll be happy with it, and you'll say thank you. Oh yes, you will. Catch you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.